everyone, it's Pam from GlamJunkJournals, and today I'd like to share with you my latest journal that I just completed this morning. This was a custom order for an Eclectic, Artsy, Bohemian junk journal. Now, to me, those words, eclectic, artsy, and bohemian, bring to mind patchwork, vibrant patterns, deep, rich colors, and just kind of a lot of pattern mixing. So this is what I came up with, and I absolutely love how this turned out. What this is it is made from a cardboard box. It measures 7 by 9 and has a 2.5-inch spine. And what I started with after the cardboard box is I did a patchwork fabric cover, and on the back you can see it a little better. I just started pulling some fabrics that spoke to me, and I kind of layered some tulle and some see-through lace and then some vintage lace. And I gotta apologize, you guys, I went to the dermatologist and I got some spots burned off my hands and they look horrible, so I apologize for the band-aids. Anyways, so after I constructed the fabric front cover, I sewed all the way around the edges, and on the interior, I'll show you that when I get to it, what I did for the inside. And then, as you know, I like to build my covers from the bottom up. So what I did right here, if you see this line of collaging and fabric and all sorts of little embellishments, what I did was I took a piece of cardboard because I wanted the cardboard cover to be a little sturdier, and I thought, okay, I need to add some more cardboard. How do I do that and make it look cool? Well, here's what I did. I took a piece that was the same size as the cover, and I covered it with a blouse. And if you look real close, there's 3 buttons right here. And what this was the closure to the blouse. And what drew me to this blouse when I found it at Goodwill was the buttons and the fabric. So let me give you a little idea of what that was. See, this is the closure. So I basically cut off the button closure and glued that onto the piece of cardboard, and then I started layering from there. I've got a piece of my snippet roll. You guys know how I like to always make a snippet roll. Well, there is a little piece there, and if you recognize these 2 little squares here, this is from a vest that I got, and I'm starting a series on what can I create with that, and I did do a video on that, and this is from this funky vest. I don't know, this is going to appear in a lot of my journals just because I love the coloring, and when they're cut out from this overall vest, they're very versatile. So that's where, whoops, 2 of these little patchwork squares came from. This is another applique I cut out from a blouse, and I've got some faux flowers. This is an old earring, and this is a tea-dyed fabric flower with a pearl in the middle. And I added some leopard because I just love leopard. I think leopard is definitely a neutral, and that's my motto. And so I like to incorporate that. And along the side here, here's some lace trim, and all of the fabrics, or I should say the laces in here, have been tea stained. And another thing that comes to mind when I think of Bohemian is peacock feathers. So I added some right here and on the side. And along the side, you can also see a little bit of the snippet roll that I made. This is tied together with a velvet ribbon that frays on the edge, and I just think it's gorgeous. And there's another Bohemian type of fabric, as I think that velvet is definitely Bohemian. And this is all glued down with E6000, and I did sew on some additional buttons. So let's go inside. I love the feel of this ribbon. It's just, oh, velvet. Yay, it's just gorgeous. And how Bohemian is that? So on the inside, what I did is on the interior of the cardboard box, I did Mod Podge some kind of neutral cardstock, and then all the way around the edges I added some lace, and I was able to sew the fabric front to the back with the lace trim around the edges. So it is sewn with my sewing machine. My sewing machine, I know I've said this before, is a workhorse, and it did marvelously. Oh, and another thing that I didn't mention is along the bottom here, I did add some tassels, and that to me is also Bohemian. This was from a curtain rod, it's not a curtain rod, excuse me, a curtain topper that you put on a curtain rod. So that's what that is from. So anyways, all right. So this journal has 3 signatures and a total of 124 pages. And this journal is for a lady who works in the healthcare industry. And, you know, as everyone knows, the last year and a half have been very, very hard on all of us, but especially the frontline workers. So I wanted this journal to be uplifting and inspirational and kind of a thank you for what she does and what all the other health workers do. So I wanted it to be very inspirational. She also wanted a lot of collaging in here. So I did my take on collaging, and she also would like some pages to add her own pictures and her own collages. So that was the plan. And I just, I didn't really have a color scheme, although Artsy and Bohemian and Eclectic also means to me bright, vibrant. I think I said that before. So I just started with cool patterns, and I just continued on with the colors within the patterns and the images. So that's why I have the orange and the green satin ribbon here. And so this is a tag. I've got a little tuck spot in the inside with an inspirational quote. And this is a vintage envelope, a window envelope that I created a tag to fit right in there. And along the side here, here's a little pocket. And on the inside, I did sew some lace. And this is one of those patterns for, I'm not sure what it's for. I think it's some sort of sewing project, but I liked it. So that goes back in there. And this is a plastic, come on, get with the program here. A paper bag, as you guys can see. I don't know what I'm talking about. And along the bottom here, I put a description of Eclectic on here. So basically it says, selecting what appears to be the best from various doctrines, methods, or styles. Don't you like that? So Eclectic, definitely my bag. So that's that. This has been Glimmer Mist sprayed and some Distress inks from Tim Holtz. And here is a postcard with some wild mushrooms. And here's some of the fabric I just glued along the side there. And a little corner snippet made out of some tulle, lace, and burlap. And it's on an envelope here. This is one that I made, and it is from a piece of cardstock that has maps of the world. And oh, look, the funky vest. Yes, it's showing up again. And I have some stenciling on here and some stamping. And most of the pages have been sewn all the way around, at least the ones that have attachments on them to make them secure. Here's a little fold up, and that's with that same blouse. This guy right here. I pretty much used up that whole blouse, so I'll have to find some more. And then there's just some journal pages and some homemade paper. And I just thought this was definitely artsy and bohemian, so I put that in there. And like I said, there is pages for journaling and also some more collaging. This is an Afghan, and I just loved the coloring. It's from an Afghan catalog on how to make those, and they have a lot of really cool images. And I put an inspirational saying, "A place of comfort," on there. I've got some more pages. This right here is a side from an anthropology bag. I have talked about that in the past, how I just love their bags. So these are little bicycles. I thought that was really cute. And on the other side is a piece of my diamond cardstock or harlequin. I love that pattern also. I've got some lace, writing space, and here's one of my collages here. And I did a little corner, not really a corner, it's kind of a center pocket with some bling. And I have these two cute little tags, and what they are is, let me show you what they are. Here is, I found this at a thrift store and I thought, whoa, these are cool. Latin vocabulary cards. They're like flashcards for the language student. And I was drawn to the vintage look of the box, and I thought, how cool is that? Not like I'm going to learn Latin, but I thought that was really cool, just so that, you know, you have these little words of inspiration. So I'm going to use that a lot in my journals. And then behind there, let me move this out of the way. If you can see this, this is from, this image right here is from the Somerset Studio, and I have a subscription to that. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. You probably, a lot of you have. This is one of the most awesome magazines. It is not a cheap magazine, but it's definitely worth it. It comes out quarterly, and what they have on the inside is what they call artist paper. And what it is, it's paper from the artists that are spotlighted in here, their designs. So I used some of that, and this is one of them. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. It says, "She seeks beauty and truth," on the bottom. And here is the middle of the first signature, and this is my second collage. What I started with was, let me move these little things out of the way. I tried to do something similar on both sides. So this is the S&H stamp catalog. I started with that, and then on top of that I did put a couple inventory tags, or these may be, you know, when you used to have to manually write receipts. So I did one on each side, and then I layered from there. I made a pocket on this side and a pocket on this side, and I stuck some more inspirational words that, if you want, you can learn Latin from. And then on this one, let's see, the stories we tell. There's another just nice saying that I liked, and some lace and some appliques that I cut out and along the sides, and a couple tags that I did here. And this is another one of those artist papers from the Somerset Studio. Isn't that pretty? Oh, love it. Love it. And here's another one of my collages. Here I just thought, personally, I thought her eye makeup was cool. And so I wanted to bring in the blues. So I went through some of my images that I cut out, and I found some other random images that I thought kind of went together. So we've got a curtain in the background, and there's a little goldfish bowl, and the side of a piece of lined paper that I cut out. And there's another pocket here, a little tuck right there that says "Help, Aid, Assistance, and Support." And I thought, oh man, that's perfect. and a sticker of a pretty butterfly that brings out the purple. And then on this side, I just attached one of my decoupaged playing cards. I thought that was pretty in there. Got some more pages. The other half of that Afghan. Here's another one of my collages, and this one has some Edith Holden in the back. Cut out some fruit, and then I added some more of this blouse right along there. I did some stamping, and be inspired is the quote, or the saying here, and some little bling right there. And then a vintage postcard. And on this side, this is the other side of the envelope, I have a corrugated cardboard snippet that I made in one of my other videos, and that was something I made with my collage board. And so go check that video out if you haven't seen it, and I'll show you that. So the collage board can also be a master board. They're called a bunch of different things, but I just really love them. So throughout this journal, I did use some of my master boards. So I'll show you those when I get to some more. And here is the back of the first signature. And this was, I didn't mention that, this came on a pack of oranges. And what I did was, it was kind of plasticky and crunchy and shiny, so I didn't like that as much. I just took a copy onto some black cards, or onto some, yeah, I think it was black. Yeah, it was black cardstock, and it came out wonderfully. So there you go. So here is the second signature, and this one is tied with some vintage lace that has also been tea stained. Here is another collage that I did. This is an image out of, I think, either Vogue or Allure, one of the fashion magazines. And I just layered on top of that, trying to bring out the pretty pinks and the yellows in there. So I put some flowers, and I added a ribbon. And this one says, "It's the simple things." And then a little card that says "Paris in London" on that. And there is some lace that I sewed all the way around the edges. And this is a piece of, I think this was wrapping paper. I'm not really sure. You know how when you get so much stuff, you don't really know where everything came from or what it is? That's that. And here's another image from artist paper from Somerset Studio. Isn't that gorgeous? I glued on a button and added some lace and put some fabric trim. And here's a card that I created with some of the cardstock and wallpaper that's used throughout this, and I sewed around the edges there. And on this side here is some more of that wallpaper that I created, a side pocket and a little fabric cluster there. And another vintage image of some nurses. And I thought that looked really cool in there. So we've got pages for journaling and collaging. It's a little altered paper clip I did. And then there's another Afghan image. And here is another peacock feather with one of my flowers from my stash. And I added a little envelope to this little pocket right here. It's sewn with some, sewn around the edges, and here is some more satin ribbon. It says "Remarkable and Prominent," and a cute little postcard on this. Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh. And it is dated from Michigan, 1908, and it says, "Hello, Norman." Love that. And then there's an envelope that you can write in on there. And here is the center of the second signature. And I was getting to the point where, do you guys ever do that, where you get to a point where you keep adding and adding? And I'm like, okay, you got to stop adding. So I added on both sides of the center just some flowers that I created. I just cut out some petals and sewed them all together in the center. and put a little card right there. And I left this one open because, and this is with a little Velcro closure. I was going to add something in there, but I'm like, Pam, you gotta just chill out here. Just gotta, calm down and not have to put something on every single page. And here is another collage that I did. And what I did is I started out with a plain piece of paper, and I cut out an image of a lady, and then I fussy cut some butterflies, and this says be creative. It got cut off when I copied it. And a rose here, and a random image of, it looks like a garden in France. And what I did is I copied this collage onto a piece of paper. And so I have the original, and here is another one that I copied. And on the other side of that, that's where the Be Creative is on that. So that was fun to make that collage. And I just, first of all, I love the image. I love the coloring. And so I kind of played with that and just kept adding things that I thought looked good on it. And there's some more distress spray. Here's another collage. And I made a pocket at the bottom with some fabric that's used throughout. And I layered music, a doily, an image of some candles, and some roses right here. And on this little tag, it says Finding Hope. So that goes in there. And there's another little cluster, or I should say snippet, that I made in a previous journal. I had some left over. Put that on there, and a fabric button, and some cute little tag on there with some trim. And then here is a bead that's attached to a paper clip, some beading that I made. And so that is removable, and you can put that wherever you want on there. And this was just pretty. This is with the best of good wishes, and I thought that would be uplifting for this journal. And it's just an old card. I love to I love to collect vintage cards also, so that goes in there. And then the other side of that, lace, and sewn along the side there's some satin ribbon. So that's the end of that signature. And this is the final signature, and I really like the outside of this one. This is tied together with two varying shades of peach or coral. And this is a crocheted doily that I found at a thrift shop. And I love the coloring. I don't know. I never get tired of collecting these. Never, 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 never. So on the inside of that, I created two little corner pockets that you can put things in. And here's another vintage photograph of some nurses receiving an award, and another card, the artist trading paper from Somerset Studio. And here is, if you can see on the back, this is another collage that I did, another masterboard. Let me show you that one. And what's so fun, you guys, is you can reuse these. So you can cut them up and use them as tags, cards, use a whole page. And so let me see, where's that one? That is this one right here. So here's my masterboard. Yay! Isn't that cool? And I get so excited about this stuff. It's cool when you copy these, because this is my original, like I said, and it has been Mod Podged over the top. But once you copy it, it still looks 3D, which I think is fabulous. So it makes the images just stand off the page, and I love that. So on top of my collage, I did add another saying the past is richly present, and some writing on the back. So those things fit right back in there. And here is my snippet roll that I made for this particular journal. And on the inside of that, I just stuck some pretty birds, because that's Bohemian and Eclectic. And this to me is definitely Bohemian. This is an image out of a magazine, and I don't remember if it was a crafting magazine. I think it might have been how to make these rugs, and you know, that is definitely a Bohemian bedroom, wouldn't you say? So I thought that looked really cool in there. And you know, like I said, there's so many colors in this journal, but that's definitely Bohemian and eclectic. So we've got some vintage music and some cardstock on there. And there again, here is another one of my collaged masterboards. And this time I copied it onto a piece of vellum. And let me show you the original. Where is my original? Here it is. See? There it is. Yay! See, there's the image of the lady. And I did do some mixed media distressing on there. And it looks so cool. So definitely give that a shot, you guys. It's so fun. You can totally reuse that stuff. And this is just a little fold out here. And on the inside, I put a one of my little calling cards that I made, and another little collage with a pretty fern. And then on this, there's more of that anthropology bag. It was on the same one with the bicycles. And I think it also had like little dachshunds on it. And this is the strawberries. Love it. And then some more Latin for you. Follow up and pursue. And here is a belly band with some fabric on the side. And another card from that same magazine. Now here's more of that definitely a Bohemian room. My daughter would love this. She's really into, you know, the plants and all the Bohemian, and I just think this is really pretty. So that goes in there. And here's another collage. Well, I guess this isn't really a collage. This is a page that I did with two tiered side pockets. Another saying from the Somerset studio, she has courage and is brave. And I sewed along the bottom some of the fabric and lace that's used in this journal. And some cardstock. And there is that same image of this guy right here. And then another card that I created. And a vintage postcard here. Now these are interesting. I got these at a flea market, and I had never seen these. I like the coloring on them, and basically what it is, and maybe someone knows this, this is from 1955. These are radio bandwidth, not bands, but radio, what would you call these? I don't even know. Well, you guys probably know out there. But anyways, I just like the way they look. So they're in there. More of that blouse. Got some butterflies. Another image from the Somerset studio that I copied onto a, or actually I just used this, and then on the back of the page I put some butterflies. Here's the middle of the last signature and some appliques that I cut out. And here's some more of those bicycles. And there's another collage that I did with a masked lady. I've got some teacups. It says capturing inspiration. I've got some jewelry and some stamping and a stamp on there and a goldfish. So definitely eclectic for sure. I've got some stenciling on that. And here's another bookmark that I made out of another collage. Other side of the strawberries. There's the other side of that vellum and the music. And this is a fold out here made with some two-sided cardstock. It said the time is now. So you can open that up, and it's two-sided. It goes way out, so you can put whatever you want on the inside of that. And here's another collage tag that I did with my master board again, and then some more of the cutouts from the Somerset studio. and I added some little tassels from the trim and the lace and the beading that I used in the journal. So there you go. And then there is the back of my copied masterboard. So isn't that neat? It's still, all I can say is I think it looks 3D because you can still see the delineation of where I put the different images, but it's still flat. It's so fun. And then there is the back. So that is my Eclectic Artsy Bohemian journal. And it was, I say this every time, I know that, I know I do, but this stuff is so satisfying and I just absolutely love doing this. And I didn't know how this was going to turn out, but I really just let the coloring and the images inspire me for just adding on, and I kept adding until I felt it was complete. So thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate you guys and the comments and the kind words and subscribing to my channel. And so stay tuned for my next video. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.